2 additional thirds, an additional fifth, an additional seventh. We now also know they have an additional second in 2028, an additional third in 2029. What does this trade mean for the Browns?
It means that they do not believe they are ready to win this year.
Correct.
And it means that they are prepared to move a mountain to select whoever their top quarterback is in next year's draft. I think it is that simple. Now, if Deshaun Watson has some sort of throwback, year 2 in the NFL, 5,000-yard season, we can.
All right. Does this guy look like he should be talking to us about football? I'm just saying. But they've created a false general consensus amongst the haters in the NFL that neither quarterback on the Browns team is a viable quarterback. They've created this out of thin air. The evidence does not show that. Their play on the field, either Sanders or Watson, doesn't show that. But let's hone in on Sanders. Sanders beat 2 division rivals last year, but like I said before, no matter what Sanders does, you can't please people that hate. Let's keep going.
Revisit that. I certainly don't think that's going to be Shedeur Sanders having some sort of breakout, 4,500-yard, 30 touchdowns. So let's just put aside the complete outlier quarterback internal, Dylan Gabriel. They already have their guy. Most of us don't.
All right, so Dylan Gabriel is not even a topic of conversation. And I believe if you put Shedeur Sanders in with good wide receivers and protection, then sky is the limit. Now, these guys strike me as 4 dudes that don't really watch the Browns, that listen to whatever the local Cleveland media says or whatever the AP says or the Wire says, and they come up with nonsense based on fantasy football stats. Let's go.
Think that. They are going to say that they've drafted well the last couple of years. They are a young team. They added a elite, I will use the fringe elite, premium player in Jared Verse at a premium position to replace Myles Garrett. Not as good, but still excellent and young. And they're going to say we're a year away from being a quarterback away. And that's what this is all about. And however many of those trades, because the Rams trade is, they're slotting that in to be the 30th pick in the draft, right? That's not a premium pick.
Now, why are they so sure that their quarterback is going to come next year? They haven't seen any of those quarterbacks play in the NFL. We saw what Shedeur can do if he has time to throw and people that can catch the ball. We saw what Deshaun Watson can do when he's healthy. But they're so sure that their quarterback is going to come from a bunch of unproven college players. Let's go.
But their pick, the Rams pick, and whatever else they need to give up to go select a QB in the top 5, that's what one of the biggest storylines going into next offseason is going to be.
Yeah, that part, and they're clearly...
That part. No, that part is wrong. Now, don't forget that Shedeur Sanders was supposed to be a top 5 pick, make that number 1 or 2 overall.
Punting on this season. However, this is like you talked about Kansas City Chiefs for not last year, but years prior to them going through practice. It's being practiced. Everybody on that roster is being assessed. Anytime you get a new head coach and you are not a team that is right there, ready in contention to win, everybody is on the cutting block. We want to see what we have. And when you trade away your best player, it grabs the attention of everybody in the locker room. Oh, shoot, Myles is no longer here? So now you have everybody's attention. Obviously, the quarterback is huge. We want to see what we have at that position. But we have all these picks that if Deshaun shows us something, if Shedeur shows us something, we have all these picks and we can use them anywhere in any way we like. And so when I look at that, they're in a really good position for next year. Obviously not this year, but these players are going to still play hard. We will still see a Browns team that still can sneak up on teams and win some games because they're all being evaluated to see, are they going to be on this roster moving forward?
Well, I think first,
they keep saying punting on this year. I see Denzel Boston. I see KC Concepcion. I see a team that has upgraded their line, and I see a quarterback that can get it done in Sanders that can take you to the playoffs, as well as Deshaun Watson. I think these starters should be Sanders. I hope it is. I'm going to keep going.
See how good of a head coach Monken is, Todd Monken. Because I think Stefanski is a good coach. And he obviously got him into the playoffs a few years. And even the down years.
Stefanski is the reason why they only won 5 games last year. Him wanting to draft Dylan Gabriel, then starting Gabriel over Sanders. That's why he got fired. That's why he got sent packing. Come on, bro.
Under Stefanski, they were a handful for the Baltimores and the Steelers, like in that division. They're never an easy game. So let's see if that continues under Monken, because talent-wise, we know how well they've drafted. They got, running backs. They have some talent. They just need a quarterback. And so, I want to see if Deshaun can turn back the clock. That's still scary, because if he does turn back the clock and look, say, good, or close,
even if he looks
better.
Really good, do you still say we're going to move forward with Deshaun?
I mean, he'd probably have to look great for you to do that. But what if he looks good and you win 9 games? I mean, it could be a problem. Or I got to see what Shedeur can do.
Yeah, I think, listen, the owner is going to decide who the quarterback.
Now, we've seen what Shedeur can do, and I think he's right here that the owner is making decisions. Let's listen.
Which is a terrible way to run things, but it's the way they run things.
We'll go back a little bit.
Play, my guess is neither will they do anything other than things, but it's the way they run.
Good, or close,
even if he looks
better.
Really good. Do you still say we're going to move forward with Deshaun?
I mean, he'd probably have to look great for you to do that. But what if he looks good and you win 9 games? I mean, it could be a problem. Or I got to see what Shedeur can do.
Yeah, I think, listen, the owner is going to decide who the quarterback is, which is a terrible way to run things, but it's the way they run things. Both those guys will play. My guess is neither one will play well enough to where they do anything other than take a quarterback in next year's draft. Here's the last thing I will say about.
Don't forget, Nick Wright was completely and totally wrong about Shedeur last year majorly. This is the same fool that said if Shedeur doesn't beat the Raiders, then he is not going to be in the league. And of course, he came out and played very well against the Raiders. I think that was his first game. So this whole league-wide conspiracy to trash Shedeur, it has now fermented and it has become second nature, the lying. They have just said to themselves or to each other, we're just going to lie about Shedeur. No matter what he does, no matter how many division rivals he beats, no matter how many come from behind victories he has, no matter how many successful 2-minute drills that he has, we're just going to say he can't do it and hope we speak it into fruition. Now, this coming up season, I think Shedeur has a big chance, and I still have a strange feeling he might start. I think they should think about packaging some more people and bringing in some more talent and winning this year. Like Broussard said, you can sneak up on some teams. But the Browns have a lot of talent, not just some. They have a lot of talent. And I think they can do very well. Now, I said in another video I did not like the trade with Miles, which I don't. But, hey, if somebody doesn't want to play for your team, if he wanted to go, well, then so be it. You have to do what you have to do. You don't want somebody playing for you that doesn't want to be there. Or if it was a business decision regarding age and saying, hey, this guy, although he's in his prime, we can get a lot for him. You get younger with Verse. I don't see how it's punting on the season. I mean, it's not like Myles Garrett kept the Browns, or it's not like Myles Garrett caused the Browns to go to the playoffs last year. They still only won 5 games with him. They could have won more if it weren't for Stefanski. Very surprised to hear Broussard give that guy credit. Stefanski was the problem last year. Do not forget that.
This trade from the Browns' perspective. I really believe this will work out for the Rams. I really do. But there are ways in which the Rams end up regretting this. If Myles Garrett, at age 30 has a quicker fall off. If he, a couple of years into, his time with the Rams, like Aaron Donald style, it's like, okay, I think I'm going to retire.
When you say work out, they have to win the Super Bowl.
win a Super Bowl, or he's there for 4 years at this level he's been at, and they, for different reasons they don't. My point is, I think this works out for the Rams. I am absolutely certain this is a good move for the Browns. Like I just don't. Now you have to hit on draft picks, but you have to hit on draft picks whether you trade for them or not. I see no scenario where this was a bad move for the Browns. They needed to move on. They needed to recognize we're not anywhere close. This was the best asset they possibly could have. They got an amazing return from him.
Not true. Again, Nick Wright was wrong all last year about the Browns, so take what he says with a grain of salt. I think they're a lot closer than people think, and I think instead of getting rid of Miles, they could have added to the defense. But again, it sounds like something that was in the making and in the works since maybe even before the Super Bowl this year. They may have been working on this, and the Browns felt like this was a good move, so be it. They got some picks. They got a decent, from all accounts, defensive player in Verse, so let's see where it goes. Do not forget to hit that thumbs up. Going to keep going.
Start cleaning up their books. Like, there's no way, in my opinion, the Browns end up regretting this. I don't think the Rams will, but there is a...
So, big corporate sports media and the collusion going on with Shedeur Sanders. They manufactured a 5th-round pick for Shedeur last year. Then they falsely labeled his good play as bad play throughout the year after he got a chance to play when Dylan Gabriel had no business in the game. They then have been pushing for a quarterback to be selected by the Browns next year. These are people that have nothing to do with the team, but they all agree that no matter what Shedeur does or what Deshaun Watson does, that they do not deserve to play. What it is they don't want either one of these guys in the NFL. They do not want Deshaun in the NFL because of the fake SA allegations, and they don't want Shedeur in the NFL because of his family legacy, their jealousy, and their hatred. They are willing to act as if a bunch of college players are going to be somehow better than Shedeur Sanders when they haven't seen any of them play in the NFL. They also act like Shedeur Sanders does not have any potential, and even if he does not deserve the benefit of the doubt or time to grow into his role. You still have people that want Baker Mayfield back. If you watch them closely, no matter what a quarterback that looks like them does, they give their quarterbacks the benefit of the doubt. If they somehow acquire Arch Manning, which they won't, and I don't know why they would when you have Shedeur Sanders, they could lose every game of the season and they will be optimistic even if they lose every game of the season for 5 to 10 years. Oh, well, we have Arch Manning, we might do it. It's not about winning. It's about control. Listen, these people have put it down. They've put it in recorded fashion. The constant disrespect of Sanders, starting with the draft last year, the prank phone calls, the falsified pick, number 5 pick, calling him unintelligent, saying that he cannot comprehend what he sees on the field. This is projection, also wishful thinking. They understand that Shedeur Sanders is one of a kind, that he is a special talent, and that if he gets on the field, he has the potential to dominate. That hurts their whittle feelings. Now, tell me what you think. Do you think the Browns are rebuilding? I don't. Or, I'm sorry, are punting on the season? I do not. I think they have put together a pretty good team on paper, and they should see how it plays out on the field. In order to keep the momentum from the end of last season where Shedeur started and was winning, he should be the starter. If they win 9-10 games with either starter, you know you have something. You do not need to waste another pick on a quarterback. Now, the local Cleveland media are pushing the nonsense, and it's a shame that people in the national media actually take these people seriously. As far as Myles Garrett, he gave the Browns some very good years, so good luck to Myles. Like I said, his star meter will be boosted out in Los Angeles. You're going to see him in a lot more commercial ads, a lot more appearances, cameo appearances, possibly in movies and TV shows and commercials, a lot more endorsements, a lot more appearances on late night shows. They're going to love that guy in LA. Again, 9 years, I wouldn't have traded him, but some parts of the trade do make sense, I guess. You all let me know what you think. Leave your comments in the box.